that time of year. If you're in the gaming industry, you know exactly what I am talking about, E3. Thousands of industry and media professionals have flocked to the City of Angels to experience and evangelize the latest game releases and technology. This year, we're seeing some changes to the conference, though. Console and mobile gaming are stepping aside to make room for the debutante strut of augmented and virtual reality tech. And E3 Live is allowing consumers to get an unprecedented peek inside the event, which has traditionally been strictly for industry insiders. It ain't just gaming brands no more neither. T-Mobile, Samsung, Monster Energy, and more are up in the club, and as the event scales to cater to consumers, the list of non-endemic brands that want in may continue to grow. Attendees this year can expect demos, live entertainment, and interactive experiences as more folks than ever get to take in the marketing extravaganza that is E3. Yes, it's a thrill and a treat for all who come to this expo of marketing expos. And if you don't already have tickets, don't worry, you can always come on down and press your face against the cold hard glass outside. It's totally sold out. Boom! American venture capitalist Meeker just dropped her Internet Trends report, and per the usual, the industry is gobbling up all 213 pages as though it were an existential manual written by their descendant god. The in-depth breakdown from the former Wall Street securities analyst explores the evolution of marketing from the corner store to Snapchat and all the persnickety fuss budgetry in between. There's definitely a lot to digest, and unless you plan on hearing my butter-like voice for the next 90 minutes, let's pasteurize this S down to one absolute theme, and it's a theme of which marketers need to get all abreasty. Since millennials value self-expression and diversity, and they make up 27% of the US population, brands must shift in order to reach these consumers where they are. Meeker notes that 48% of millennials prefer to be contacted via the internet or social media, which basically means brands can stop using the yellow pages, smoke signals, and carrier pigeons. It's also important to note the growing power and economy of imagery in communication. From type-based emoji to Snapchat lenses, brands are wisely making it easier to convey emotion and personality with a single image. And lest we revert to the stale monologues of our marketing ancestors, let us remember that regardless of age, today's tech-savvy consumer loves to be engaged authentically and in the moment. So get out there, brands, slide up in your consumers' DMs, and make sure we all stay #blessed. Fraud. Highly damaging to its victims and very lucrative, while impressing pretty much nobody. It is truly the slitheriest of crimes. As the fraud du jour, ad fraud is no different, and it's becoming more and more prevalent. Industry insiders are comparing ad fraud to organized crime, claiming the activity is second only to the drug trade as a source of income. It's long been digital media's dirty little secret, and the proliferation of cybercriminals is at all-time highs, with networks of bots siphoning away ad dollars at alarming rates. Ad fraud even made national headlines this week when the U.S. Supreme Court weighed in on the class action suit against Google Advertising regarding claims that the company deceived California advertisers about the placement of online ads through its AdWords service. The highest court in the land let stand a lower court's decision that allowed the suit to proceed, but Google's case is just a side note to a worldwide trend that could potentially cripple the everyday marketer. Yes, ad fraud is a booming business, and it's expected to balloon to $50 billion globally by 2025, according to a new report from the World Federation of Advertisers. The fracas has ignited a conversation amongst marketers as they navigate the ever-changing landscape in search of relevant ways to advertise. The WFA advises that until the industry can prove that it has the capability to effectively deal with ad fraud, advertisers should use caution in relation to increasing their digital media investment to limit their exposure to fraud. Just in case that vague warning doesn't terrify you enough, it's worth noting that ad fraud isn't just hitting the desktop. No sirree, Bob. According to a report from Forensic, 34% of the mobile inventory overall, which includes banners, interstitial, and video ads, is at risk of fraud. Now that may sound grim, but for the sake of perspective, it could be worse. Millions of venom-spitting reptilian overlords who cannot be killed could theoretically land on Earth and destroy us, but they haven't, so there's that. Marketers are getting on the carousel. Literally. Carousel ads seem to be the new display ads, only better because they're in-stream and engageable, getting all swipey and stuff. Swipe left, swipe right. It's like Tinder, but nobody tries to kiss you. The truth is, static images just don't do it for us anymore. Don't believe me? Here's the stats to prove it. According to a report from Digiday, carousel ads are 10 times more effective than static sponsored posts on Facebook, which means you can take the effectiveness and add a zero. Orders of magnitude, baby. Instagram and Facebook have been onboarding marketers with carousel ads for a few moons now, but as of this week, Twitter is hopping on as well, testing their promoted tweet carousel, allowing brands to curate multiple tweets, not just their own, but tweets from influencers as well, if approved. Disney, Volvo, and Gatorade are some of the lucky brands who've gotten to dizzy down in this extremely limited alpha test, but who knows? Pretty soon, your brand may get to take carousel ads for a spin.